YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. My name is RillSheed and I'm a school psychologist, behavior intervention specialist, and educational consultant. And today, we're talking about grief. Now, I did a video during the holidays that gave viewers tips on how to cope with grief during the holidays. And thanks to many of you, my viewers, and those of you who support my channel, what I realized is it's probably a good idea for me to start with the basics when I start talking about certain topics related to mental health, and then kind of build from there so you have a point of reference and a baseline. So today, we're going to be talking about the basics of grief, starting with what is grief and what does the process of grieving actually look like. So let's get to it. So what is grief? Grief is a strong, sometimes overwhelming emotion for people that stems from loss. Grief is a natural response to loss. And contrary to popular belief, grief is not limited to the loss of people or loved ones. Any loss can cause grief, including but not limited to divorce or relationship breakup, loss of a job, retirement, death of a pet, loss of health, loss of a friendship, and even loss of safety after a trauma. Now, coping with the loss of someone or something you love is one of life's biggest challenges. The pain can feel overwhelming and even disrupt your physical health, leading to difficulties sleeping, eating, or concentrating. Now, these are normal reactions to loss, and the more significant the loss, the more intense your grief will likely be. Now, whatever your loss, it's personal to you. So don't believe it's inappropriate to grieve for things that mean a lot to you because you don't know if others will understand. Do not feel ashamed about how you feel. Grief is a highly individualized experience. There is no normal timetable, and there's no right or wrong way to grieve. Healing happens gradually and takes time. It cannot be forced or hurried. Now, some people start to feel better in weeks or months, and for others, well, the process is measured in years. How you grieve depends on many factors, including faith, your personality, personal experiences, how you cope with stressful life events, how significant the loss was to you, etc. We'll dig deeper into this topic next week when I talk about the Kubler-Ross stages of grief. Now let's talk about the symptoms of grief. Symptoms of grief may present themselves physically, socially, cognitively, or spiritually. Research has shown that grief can increase inflammation in the body and bombard the immune system. Grief can also increase blood pressure and the risk of blood clots, and intense grief can alter the heart muscle so much that it causes broken heart syndrome, a form of heart disease with the same symptoms as a heart attack. Some of the most common symptoms of grief include, but are not limited to, difficulty sleeping, worry, crying, anxiety, guilt, headaches, fatigue, loss of appetite, physical aches and pains, irritability, questioning the purpose of life, and also questioning faith and spiritual beliefs. So, as a quick recap, today I defined grief while also covering the grieving process and providing information on the symptoms of grief. In summary, here's a few things you should now know about grief. Grief is a strong and sometimes overwhelming emotion that stems from loss. Grief is also a natural response to loss, and it is not just limited to the loss of people or loved ones. Coping with the loss of someone or something you love is one of the biggest challenges you'll face in life, and grief is a very personal and individualized experience. There is no normal timetable, and there's no right or wrong way to grieve. The grieving process cannot be rushed or forced, and how you grieve is dependent on a number of factors. Also, the symptoms of grief can impact an individual physically, socially, cognitively, and/or spiritually. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, make sure you leave a comment, make sure you subscribe, and also make sure you hit that like button. It helps a brother out with the YouTube algorithm so other people can find this video and digest this information about mental health. I'll see you all during the next video when we cover the Kubler-Ross 5 stages of grief, which I'm sure you've all heard about at some point or another. So until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of one another. Peace.